2nd, 2019. This is Alex with MasterChartsTrading.com. This is a weekly recap. S&P 500, QQQ, the Dow Jones, all making record highs again. We'll look at healthcare, technology, and financials this week as they surged to records. Financials went to 52-week highs. We'll look at a trade example, a very nice trade recently, 56% gain on target for the subscribers. I will give a kind of like a detailed example of how to wrap your mind around trading, and I will give an example of General Electric. And latest trend change alert was for good for 20%. Look at junk debt as it's catching up to stocks. This is good for stocks, and treasuries may or may not be done correcting. We'll need to do some examination. Dollar is still resilient, and this is starting to weigh on gold. And looks like cryptos are about to collapse. Okay, so S&P 500 just on the 19th, so Tuesday, records were set. And I don't know, this is just basically a bullish chart. Maybe there's a little bit of a pullback that's beginning to develop. Nothing really to worry about right this instant. Um, Theoretically, if you have very nice positions, nice profits, you could potentially take some money off the table. Just depends what is your time frame for trading, basically. So QQQ, Nasdaq, same basic principle. We are seeing record highs for Nasdaq, and this is obviously very good. Latest alert for Nasdaq occurred back in June, and very nice 16+% gain for an ETF. It's a very significant gain. So right this instant, maybe there's a little bit of a pullback brewing, but to turn this whole thing around, it will take time. And I wouldn't again look for any bearish patterns yet. Here's Dow Jones, also records, very recent records, just on rather on Tuesday. And yeah, basically very similar picture to the other two major indices. And this is again a normal thing because stocks tend to move in lockstep with one another. Some of the sectors, recent trades actually also. XLV Healthcare just hit a record high today, in fact, probably because of biotech moving higher. We have a trade in biotech, so I won't show it. Maybe I'll show it next time. We did have a trade in XLV Healthcare, so there's two alerts, for example, right there, one on 29th of August, another one on 10th of September. The stop would have been way back down at the yellow line, so this is the reason why I like to give it more room to fluctuate, but when the target is reached, that's it. Then we need to take profits or potentially advance the stop, and maybe even do both. So XLV Healthcare at records, good news. XLK Technology also at records, very similar to QQQ to Nasdaq. Overall, XLK Technology is an offensive sector. In other words, it's kind of sector where investors buy during times of they're thinking that good times will continue. Here's financials, XLF. So again, they are at records. There are lots of banks in this sector. Couple of alerts, actually 3 alerts, one in early August, one in mid-August, another one in late August. And again, I would be just buying here and waiting for a move higher, which is exactly what we did. And the financials moving to 52-week highs may show that until the treasuries will pull back some more, because banks make their money, and there's a lot of banks in this sector. Banks make their money by borrowing at low rates and lending at higher rates. So if the bonds pull back, the longer term rates will continue higher, which is good for banks because they can make more money this way. The margin is improved. So it makes sense for financials to be moving higher as well. Here's a trade example, target. I think I already showed it a while back, but it went to new records, so I'm gonna show it again. Alert was sent right there on 29th of May to my subscribers at MasterChartsTrading.com. Forgot to mention that the four lines you see on this chart, the green, the blue, the red, and the yellow line, are a part of my indicator package, for which you can sign up by going to MasterChartsTrading.com, click on sign up, and then select one of the services. You can receive alerts, you can receive the trading indicators, which are available for TradingView. This is TradingView interface right there. And you can trade on your own. So for example, this was my alert, but if you had my indicators, well, that's all you need to do. You just see, oh, okay, we got a close above the blue line, we just buy. So we got 56% gain out of the latest alert for the target. And actually, I would be keeping this position open because really um, no, no reason to sell it. This is looking good right now. Here's an example I wanted to give in a little bit more detail. This is General Electric. So first I want to zoom out and show you where uh, the collapse began. And there it is. This was really a while back. In fact, I think I actually went over this chart a while back, but here it is on 1st of May. This is a close below the yellow line. For stocks, I use the yellow line as my line in the sand. And from that point on, this is all I want to know is the stock going to be bouncing back towards the red line? And I would be shorting it there. Now, this is more for an adventurous kind of trader. Usually, I only short during the overall general bear market. Right this instant, I don't see a bear market, and I don't think it was a bear market back then either. But if you're adventurous, then yes, you can do such a thing. You wait for the breakdown below the yellow line, and then short on a bounce towards the red line, and you just short it right there. So this particular move, you can see it was just enormous, and there was just absolutely no strength in this stock, not even enough to get it up to the red line. So this is a huge move. Look at this, it just continues. And only finally here, around February of this year, I would have probably closed this position for about 65% gain. So very nice profit if you know what you're doing. Now, the latest alert, here on the 24th of July, there was no breakout yet. And then finally, right there on the 30th of October, breakout. So General Electric gapped above the blue line, strong candle, and the alert was sent, and then it immediately continued higher, and still probably gonna continue higher because we're seeing new highs here, new 52-week highs. So this is the way I think about trading. I apply my indicators to the chart, and then I try to remove my brain as much as possible because this is very straightforward. If security closes above the blue line, we just buy it there. All right, let's look at some of the intermarket relationships. Here's junk bonds. And right there on the 28th of October, you can see a top. And then junk bonds began moving lower. Now S&P 500 on the 28th of um, sorry, right there, 28th of October, they were making new highs. It was a breakout to new highs, and it continued to record. So the way junk bonds are behaving, you can see that they're actually doing the opposite. They're pulling back. So this is a divergence, and in this case, it's a bearish divergence because junk bonds are moving lower, stocks are moving higher. So which one do we trust? Uh, the way the action has been, I wanted to trust junk bonds, but you can see that right now, actually, the junk bonds are again trying to move higher. So overall, I think there's a possibility that junk bonds will also catch up and start making new highs. So if that's going to be the case, then stocks would be in great shape, and I would just continue looking for buying opportunities, which is what actually we're doing. Junk bonds and stocks correlate highly to one another. In other words, they move in lockstep. They move together in the same direction, usually. Here's treasuries. You can see a pullback towards the blue line right there, November 7th, and then a close above the blue line right there on 13th of November. So technically, this would have been my trigger to start buying it. Now I'm not really still not really feeling this security. I mean, after a 24% move, which we caught most of it, uh, I think there may be still more unwinding for treasuries to do. So I'm not in a rush to buy treasuries really, because I think we could easily continue lower, bounce around here, and just collapse. Also, that's a possibility. Uh, how likely is it? We'll find out. But the way the technical picture is looking right now, um, I would just probably hold off and do nothing with treasuries. Right, let's move on to dollar index. Here's DXY. So dollar has been quite resilient. Um, I keep thinking that we're going to continue lower, and we keep not doing that. So we'll see where that takes us. So overall, this is a bullish chart. You can see another potential opportunity right there on the 21st of November. And if dollar continues higher, it will weigh on gold. Now, I'm not showing any gold-related or precious metal-related positions in this video because we have several opened ones. But if dollar continues higher, it will definitely weigh on gold. So uh, be on the lookout for potential trend reversal for precious metals. And of course, Bitcoin, always entertaining, always interesting to watch the action. Uh, Here on the 26th of October, enormous spike through the blue line right there. No close though above the blue line, and now finally we see a close below the red line. So this is a signal for me to start selling, to start shorting it. And it's definitely possible we're going to see another um, move lower for Bitcoin, and we could easily see 27% move towards the yellow line, towards completely bearish levels. We're seeing this already for Litecoin. So you can see, excuse me, similar patterns right there. You can see a breakdown on the 21st of September for Litecoin and a nice 35% move. This is an actual alert, again, to my subscribers. And now we're seeing like a little bit of a bounce and another move lower. So it looks like we could easily make another 30% down, which would put Litecoin in the vicinity of $36. And if this is a bear market, it could easily continue lower. Finally, Ethereum basically doing the same thing. You can kind of see the breakdown right there on the 23rd of September. actual alert again, good for 20% move in our favor. And I think it's gonna go down another 20 to 30%. So let me see where that would take this security. So possibly, let me see, at least 116, probably lower. It just doesn't look like there's a lot of support down there. So yeah, pretty wild. All right, that's it for this week's recap. I know it's a little bit short, but I have some personal circumstances and I can't really give too long of a presentation. Briefly, again, head over to MasterChartsTrading.com. Uh, you can see that we have three different types of services, or rather two different types of services and a combination. So here's one is alerts, and what are alerts? Alerts is something like this, where you receive a daily email that would have various alerts and various securities that we trade. For example, this alert for Target was good for 56%. Does it happen every time? I think you know the answer to that. It happens quite often, but it doesn't happen every time that you will catch such a nice big move. So sign up, try it. There is always a 30-day free trial. If you don't like it, just cancel it. If you are more of an advanced trader and are ready to trade on your own, trading indicators, and again, I'm saying that these are for TradingView right now, but we have plans to convert them to MetaTrader and to NinjaTrader. So similar alerts to what we had for General Electric, good for almost 20% move. So again, you can trade on your own. It's not that difficult. And plus I have a relatively large trading library, members only blog with lots of examples. And again, you can talk to me, contact me anytime you need. So alerts and indicators together, I think is the best deal. And also I think it's the best way to trade because not only you get to trade on your own and make your own decisions, you get lots of examples from the other alerts that I send daily. So at $49.95 per month, it's a steal. And if you sign up for a year, it's a great deal. We have plans in the making to start offering new services. They are coming. Again, we have algo trading coming. Hopefully, will launch by the end of the year. There is now at least a decent timeline for the launch of algorithmic trading. Expert advisors and indicators for NinjaTrader and MetaTrader are coming, and eventually a trading fund or an ETF may be launched. So if you are interested, sign up at MasterCharts Trading and send me a note, contact me. If you're interested in partnering with us, if you're commissioned, you can do commissioned affiliates, you can do promoters, traders, financial industry professionals. We're interested in talking to you, so do sign up and we'll see if we could uh, work together to make each one of our businesses better. All right, so that's it for this week's recap. Again, if you have any questions, please send them in. Thanks for watching and have another great trading week. Bye bye.